All right, so now I'll go another direction. Same night, same. This is a few hours later. Look, sunlight's coming up through this. So it's now like 6, almost 7 o'clock. The video was at like 2:30, something like that, 3. So now I'm going to go the other direction. Okay. So now I've told you the messaging is what's wrong. It's the hypocrisy of it that fucking gets me. And this is what drives me crazy. So if you would just sell it to me as that we have to do this, I agree with you 100%. So to go full neocon, like I said, it comes down to me. I choose me. I choose American exceptionalism, even at the cost of the rest of the world, because I don't want to live like the rest of the world. I like being able to flush my shit down with more water than the average person on earth consumes in a day, or let's just say has access to in a day. Fucking awesome. Dude, I flushed like 3 or 4 times. Like, I give myself a couple of courtesy flushes. Even if it's been sitting there for a minute, no, I'm going to flush that bitch again. I don't care about little kids in Africa. Man, I'm sorry, you were born there. It's being born here is fucking amazing compared to the rest of the world. I'm sure. I mean, there's places. I'm not saying America's the best, but with what you have access to, it's not bad. Saudi Arabia's got some banging shit. And look, those jokers don't tolerate anything. They will chop your head off in the middle of the street. They don't care. Broke a law, you're done for. But yeah, why not? Screw everybody else. Okay? Because we're the dominant currency. We will be the dominant currency. Um, Dominant military, all that comes at a cost. And I've said before, I'm not really concerned. Whatever little itty bitty 5-year-old child has to knit my shirt, I have no sympathy. I'm sorry. You know, Best I can do for you, hurry up. Gotta go. Come on, little Watto. I mean, it's you have your own government. Y'all work that out. In the meantime, chop, chop, chop. Uh, I want my stuff. And I certainly don't want to pay for what the rest of the world has to pay for it. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. You should have invested in naval science. We have an awesome military. Okay, so why not use it? I mean, we don't really. If it wouldn't have just benefited, the elites, the Raytheons, the Halliburtons, and all that, then I don't think anybody really would have cared. But the problem with these wars, the way they go, is that just the rich people are making money. We need some of that Reagan shit, right? Give me some of that trickle down shit from a war. If we were over there and we were taking Syrian oil, we're taking Iraqi oil, we're soon going to be in on some Iranian oil. Come on, man, where's my cut? Where's my cut? Drop those gas prices down. Seriously, show me the fruits. Be Caesar and be bringing shit back. Come build a temple. Because if you're gonna do it, just do it. Just do it. That's why I say that. I have this whole Israeli thing, and it's not that I care about the Palestinians. But just don't sell it to me as morality. Just do it. We know why they're doing it. All right, get it over with. There's other shit going on. I don't care. The morality of it you try to get me on. Right to this, right to that, whatever. Screw your rights. I don't believe in your rights. As a neocon wouldn't. I mean, like I said, it's just like the vote is nothing more than just like, okay, it's like a consent thing. You have my consent for the U.S. to take over the world. I have no problem with that. Take it over, whatever resources we can get. Great, we have the US dollar. That's what you pay me in. So I want that to be as strong as possible. But for everything that it is, the US dollar, we're the ones like from everything losing out on it, you know? So just with the money. That's the one thing. Make my money worth more. Why am I feeling inflation and shit? Dude, I we have Marines for that. We have Marines. And this is not me trying to be funny. It's not if we have it, let's use it. Let's use it. Be Rome. If we're going to be compared to Rome, then be Rome. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, why would you give a shit now? Why can we not just take shit over? Yeah, they've got some stuff too, but it's not as good as ours, not as much as ours. Well, we have such an excess that it is expendable. Sorry, we have American soldiers that obviously treat them as expendable. And like the whole thing is like we should have got something more out of Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, I mean, they're not doing anything with it. They can't get it out of the ground efficiently, financialize it, fucking throw that asset on Wall Street, and boom, everybody making a little bit of money. My gas goes down. I can take my girl out to eat a little bit more. Some little poor Afghani kid is now making my socks. Sorry. If we're gonna be the world power, would you have arguably, China, Russia, Russia just won't be left the fuck alone. Let them do their thing. They are still, they're they don't know what they're doing. You know, yeah, I said you got to give it up to China. You got to give it up to China. The motherfuckers have copied everything. But if you're going to do it, do it. Now, here's the bonus part. All right, so we may not use the nukes. This might be a justifiable reason for Israel to use the nukes on the bunker and all that. It's going to be really crazy. The people that are worried about nukes will be the first ones to use it. I really do see that happening. It won't be us. Um, the rest of the region is not going to do anything. Jordan's obviously gone. Fine, whatever. Let Israel go ahead and make their whole thing the greater Israel. Do you really care? When you're talking about, piss everybody off, you're talking about Muslim immigrants coming in and their culture being, so far behind the modern, not being able to assimilate in America, then what are they worth over there? So if you're bringing them over here and we're having issues, well, then the people over there are 10 times worse. So really, do we want an educated society over there, or because you're not going to be able to educate them all? So okay, they got to go. They got to go. It's let Israel do what it's going to do. And if we're an ally, then, yeah, cut us in on it. But let it trickle down, though. I mean, if we're paying for all that shit, what do we get? I mean, let the people get something. That's what I would be. Fucking be Caesar, man, with chariots and fucking goddamn wagons of spoils. Be like the British Museum. Bring all that cool shit over here so I ain't got to go over there. Do it. So one of the benefits to this whole Iranian thing is if you want to weaken China, China gets a lot of oil from Iran. And so Iran is stuck in a really, hard position as far as the Strait of Hormuz goes. They're trying to get as many ships out as they fucking can, out there to the market. But, you shut down that, a blockade, which I can see the U.S. doing a blockade. They're already right there. Um, you really starve them out, but you're also starving China of a resource, and Russia can't get enough in. They have, I don't know if they're starting a second pipeline. They have one kind of comes in through the north, but it's not big enough to really do a whole lot. So I know a while back they did sign a contract on trying to expand that out, but you're looking at something that's years down the road. And the other thing is that the beautiful part of why Russia, once their wells go inactive of trying to get that oil to market, they freeze up because of the tundra, and there's no expertise. That's one thing America is really good at is technical expertise. When you pull the American, technical aspect of it out, well, then they can't maintain their own system. So you're weakening, Russia, which they're a resource-rich nation. You're weakening Iran, which is a resource-rich nation, that both export to your main economic rival. Um, Now, honestly, I think that the thing going on with China, the way we're going about that war is kind of a dumb thing. I don't think that when you talk about economic power, why not export all that menial labor over there, or just one country to another country? China's going to have its own demographic problem where it is going to have to be shifted to India. I mean, you're hearing reports coming out already on Bloomberg, to where a lot of the manufacturing, because of this, is already being shifted to India. But that was going to happen anyway, with a rise of the economic class, in China because of capitalism. The bottom layer, as far as demographic model goes, is not there. So it's an unsustainable model. What you do is, and another thing too, the numbers for how many they lost. There's this little theory going around. Told you I can get full neocon too, man. Is the hypocrisy of it. Um, the theory going around that during COVID, and then I'm really not sure if they ever got a true census, that they lost a lot more people than they admitted to. Upwards to, they lost around 300 to 500 million, which would knock that population, down, significantly, and really truly alter the birth rate, because you haven't gotten, really any kind of true numbers on birth rates for a while. Any kind of data coming out of China is pure speculation. Same with the U.S., man. I wish they'd just be honest about it, though. Like, I mean, the big banks and all them making money out doing shady shit. Let us in on it. I mean, seriously, we wouldn't care. I mean, that's the part about being dominant. Okay, throw them balls around. Seriously, just kick it back to us. You give us, see, if you kick it back to us and give us cool shit, you know, then like we could have with all the wars and everything we spent, we ain't got shit back. We could have, like, literally, we we could have toppled, Sudan, Saddam, just taking that fucking oil, man. Just take it, just set that shit up. Every time they want to fucking battle you, they're coming at you with AK 47. Drop that C 130 on their asses, right? We got that shit. One dude with an AK, but drop fucking $2 million worth of bombs on him, send a fucking message. Squash it. Squash it. Be like the little sand people on fucking Star Wars and shit. They got a little fucking makeshift bullshit rifle they made out of fucking soda pop cans. You know? If we're going to be dominant, if it's going to cost me anyway, then let me get something for it. So, anyway, you're starving China, which, like I said, they've already got the demographic model that's going to break down. If there was ever going to be a rise of China, then it would only been short lived, like 20, 35 for like 4 or 5 years, maybe 10 at the most, before it just catches up with them, and then they just fall apart, as with any fucking empire. So if we're going down the list, of how long empires lasted, the more we've gotten to the modern age, this the can't see in here, the the shorter the years of that empire. I'm not gonna try to do that. I got a screen up here that I use from a TV. But it's hooked up to the computer, so that way I can type in what I want to watch. And I can't see. They've gotten shorter and shorter. When you look at the Assyrians, the Greek, the Romans, Byzantine, you're coming down, to where you're, at, the British, Spanish, shit like that. Those time frames have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. So here we are. We're at 200 years. Okay, let's just even it out, say 200 years. Um, don't we want to last longer than the British Empire? Because, I mean, we spent a lot of fucking money, man. Spent a lot of money, a lot of American lives. Do you play it on out? I say we play it out. Ain't nobody got the shit we got. I mean, don't bullshit me. You know, tell me I'm going to get something from it. Yeah, but you know what? And the probably cool thing would be is that you could fucking tell them, well, you go on national TV and just straight up, it's like, look, Pakistan's got, oil, this, that, whatever. I don't think Pakistan has anything. I don't have good food. Um, I've never eaten anything from Pakistan that, I mean, what do you eat? Dirt and goat. Um, Sell it to me that if we do this, we're looking at approximate cost of this, and what this is what, our return want to be. Let me, aren't I an investor in all this? Am I not an investor? Sell it to me, man. We can get this. And then you'll save 50 cents on, you know, whatever Pakistan makes. I don't know what they make. Show me a return. Be like, well, you know, that's 5%. If I'm chasing a couple of percentage points from my portfolio, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's do it. What's the time frame? The countries are probably just capitulate, be like, hey, just we're doing that, but we're not being direct about it. We're trying to sell this morality about it. There is no morality to human beings. We are doing the same thing we have always done. What we go to war over is always trade. And it's also too, you look at the war with China and this little I don't know what kind of war you would call it, the bulletless war, just the port wars and the trade water wars. It always comes down to that. I mean, Rome, Carthage, trading routes, everything along the way. I mean, there's so many middlemen, and we've done this for thousands of years. It always comes down to trade. Somebody else got what you got. Okay, fine. That's who we are. That's who we are. And so we're not going to get any farther than that until one country just says, fuck it, we're going to take over all this shit. You're all ours, and this is the way it is. You're going to learn our one language, one rule of government, and that's it. This is the way shit are. These are the fucking rules. Go at it. All the wars would end. We'd have one currency, the US dollar, you know, and eventually Americans would breed them out at some point, I'm sure. I mean, it sounds horrible, doesn't it? That's what Israel's plan is with Gaza. And like I said, that's just the way it goes in war. Every war, Vikings and the Saxons and all of this, it just turns into that when you take over somebody else's shit. You slowly kill them. You slowly kill them where they can't, no matter, you ain't got to kill them all at once, which sometimes be easier that way, but you can kill them off over a generation where there's no more that's going to have children. Sort of like with our birth rate was going on right now. We're coming to a point where we're just no longer having children. It'll be mathematically impossible unless every woman, and you say, what about welfare, and all of that, y'all need to be making kids. So if it's going to be war, if it's going to be, if Israel is going to do what they're going to do, okay, fine, fine. If if you can do it on your own, that'd be great. If you need our help, then I want to cut. I want to cut. I want to cut. I want to come. I want to come lay on Gazan beaches then. But you're just not. You're giving it to me all wrong. You can't use Jesus when you're doing this. You can't use Christianity. This is either that or you need Joel Olstein to do it. Fucking Billy Graham still alive. Get Timmy Faye Baker up there for me. We must kill all the Muslims. Eyelashes batting around, crying. You know, and you will receive a 10% seed into your life. Give us money back. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Because since this, you've got, we've lost 24%, of our money since 2020. 24%. Just year over year. Year over year is 2 pennies. Bitching about that. You got shrinkflation. Not only are the portion sizes getting smaller, the prices increase. And so that's also too a way for them to tap down inflation when they say, oh, well, inflation is coming in at this and all that. Well, yeah, because they hide it with shrinkflation. So if you're gonna lie to me, let me get something out of it. That's all I'm saying. Throw me something. Throw me something. I mean, just get it over with. So I think I like American life. We get to do cool shit. Europe doesn't seem bad. I don't know about the Europe now. Really kind of fucked all that shit up. Um, I want it. I want it. You're going to take it from me anyway. At least let me get something from it. So I don't care about the kids. I've got my own. Like I said, I'm on my side. I choose mine over yours. So, just think about it. What if we signed a letter like that? Let's just all go full neocon. And the cool thing about it, too, Chinese lighters. Trying to ask you, what kind of lighter you want? You want a Chinaman or you want a Bic? They're both made in China, but this one, I guess little 7-year-old fingers weren't as good that day when he's putting in the flint. Um, if we went ahead and got it over with, like if we bear the atrocities, let's go full neocon here. Let's just cut to the chase. Let's just end all wars. You know what I mean? By fighting them all right now with our military, everything. Like everybody just sign up and just be like, okay, look, we're gonna go. We're gonna take over every fucking thing. All right, the U.S. dollar will be king. All resources will come back to America, and there won't be anybody to challenge us. Okay, I mean, it's if we don't go nuclear, then okay. What if we just take over the countries that, like literally the U.S. just, I don't want to take over Europe. They really screwed everything up. You know, once again, you let in a bunch of people that did not assimilate. So where they came from, let's bomb that fucking shit. You know what I mean? And then you just got those you got to deal with in your country. But let's get rid of fucking all that shit. What can we get out of Somalia? Timber, what resources? Fuck Africa. They're not doing anything with it. So let's just take it all over. Take it all over. I mean, and then our children will grow up not knowing the atrocities. We just rewrite the books. Never happened. And I'm not being like funny about it. I'm being fucking dead serious. I'm being absolutely fucking serious. Get it over with. Okay? Because if not, we're going to just keep on having this tit for tat and all that, and we'll never know peace. Okay, after, every great peace came after a great war. So let's just get it over with. Let's just do it. If you sell it to me like that, I am down. I will sign up. Be like, hey, look, we're just gonna. There's a lot of oil over there. There's a lot of oil. They've got that. Their tanks are nowhere near our tanks. We proved that with the Iraqi war. Um, we have control over the skies of virtually every country over there. Saudi Arabia could count their days. Really. Well, and honestly, they don't care about their population. They would actually probably like less population and just be like mega wealthy with robots. You know, I mean, and just let us pump, 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 pump. And then we pretend it never happened, and our children grow up thinking that this is the way it's just always been. And the other people just slowly fade away. And so will their names be fucking etched off of every fucking book? Go full 1984 and then bring it back. Like we don't, they're all dead. We won. We won everything. You want to go see some castles in Germany? Guess what? They fucking speak English. You want to go to Egypt, see the pyramids? Guess what? They fucking speak English. Because it's either you or them. You know what I mean? We're not going to have that fairy tale world just because we're not those kind of people. You know? And you're about to have this whole AI push where people are going to be out of work. Kids can't afford fucking food now. Food, housing, all that fucking shit, man. Still fucking stupid. Year over year. I mean, it's going down. Give me something, man. Give me something. What if we went back to 2000? Give me that money. What was that currency in 2000? 2000 wasn't a bad year. I mean, everybody was worried about a little bug. Oh, wow. The 1990s into the 2000s were, considered some of the greatest times, right before the dot-com bubble. Everything in peachy was America. Since then, 86%, almost 87% of your money. What'd you get out of it? Like I said, the banks made money, all of that stuff. You know, it's a risky bet. Sorry, I smoke a lot of cigarettes. It's a risky bet, but a lot of people made money, but, the average person didn't. If you would have let us in on it, you know, we could have been doing that shit to other people, man. We could have been doing that shit to other people. Let us get a cut. I mean, if everybody else making all this fucking money, let us in on it. Let us in on it. Because you can't tell me that for the amount of wars that we fought, that when was Iraq? When was Iraq? Wrong. When was Iraq? Let's go. Let's do 2010. And let's see. Yeah, 47%. Down near 50%. What did we get out of that, man? You know, where is my barrel of oil that's sitting right there? Where is my barrel of oil? You know, that dude had a lot of gold. Where's my cut? Why didn't I get a piece of Saddam Hussein's little gold bullion bars as a little? Everybody in America gets like an ounce of his gold or something. You know, bring back the spoils. I'm telling you, you did that. Oh my God, we would be the fucking Spartans, bro. Be the Spartan, brah. Let America be a utopia, and what we want in the rest of the world, let it be what we say it is. I mean, we're already paying for it. You know what I mean? But we're getting really shitty results. That's the problem. We're getting really shitty results. And you can say it's racist. You can say it's big. I don't even know all the things you can say it. Say what I'm saying. What I'm saying is money don't care what color you are. Money ain't got no feelings. It got no emotions. It's not gonna hug you. Green don't care what color your skin is. I ain't no problem with black people. Shit, everybody got a cut. Maybe they stop shooting each other. You know what I mean? You government check and fucking sign up for the military and shit too. Be like, I'm gonna go over there, steal the fucking 24s off of that Saudi princess car. Bring them shits back. You know? We all go to war and we're given a cargo container. Like if you sign up, see, okay, well, I'm gonna make it really sweet. If you sign up, there will be a ship, and every single soldier will have a cargo container on that ship. And what you can fill comes back home. So we'll have the resources of that country. And then the men that go fight, just like the fucking Vikings, all that shit, right? Whatever you can put in that cargo container comes back. That's your personal spoils. Now look, the brass going to get what they're going to get. They're going to get chateaus, they're going to get jets and all that stuff. But I mean, you're still going to be able to take shit back home. So you just like old war, fucking what you can carry and put back, go for it. You die, it goes to maybe your relatives or it gets split up among the people. I don't know. They'll work that shit out, you know? But yeah, let some of that come back home. I mean, my God, man, if somebody was sitting there telling me, it's like, hey, let's pick a country. What would it be like, who got some shit? Well, Mexico's got cool shit. I like Mexicans. We need to invade a country. What country could we bribe our soldiers with to invade and just take? See, they got to be, you know, not quite white, closer to the dark side. Kind of that in between, race. You know what I mean? They're not black, they're not white. We got to get this in between right here to where they're like, it's not really racist. It kind of floats in between. You know, I don't know. Yes, they're going to be Asians. I'm sorry, Asia. Um, Leave one with a calculator. It's the best I can do for you. You know, but that's the way you sell it to me. And then I don't care. Bring John Bolton back. Get, get Henry Kissinger to get in on this. Is he still alive? If he's not, stick a broomstick up his ass and put him in the room. In spirit, he'll be there. Sell it to me, man, as domination. I can appreciate domination. I can understand domination. So you are, like I said, in turn with China. Let me get back to that list because I'm dumb. They're also trying to set up the BRICS, as an alternate currency because the U.S. SWIFT system is this is access to the transferring large amounts of money because we are the dominant currency of the world. Comes at a cost, okay? They don't like the sanctions and all that. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and they have other signatories, on there. Um, they want to trade in their own currency. And the thing about it is we have a fiat currency. So here's the other reason why we need it. If we're going to do something, we need to go ahead and fucking do it. We have a fiat currency. Okay, that's why we have all this inflation and all that stuff. It's all priced and all these different directions and everything. Um, so when they get sanctioned and they don't have access to the U.S. market, then also too, they sanction and keep your money and shit. They're tired of that, so they want to make their own currency that's backed by the resources of their countries. Okay, so Brazil. Brazil ain't got no fucking army. Okay, nothing like our shit. What they got is our old shit at best. Maybe some old Russian shit, but we could take over Brazil in what? What do you think? How long do you think it would take us to take over Brazil? Seriously, you know? I mean, a week, a month, a month, and then and probably a lot of them be like, okay, cool, we would like to be part of America rather than this, So we got Brazil out of the way. Russia's on its way, you know. They're bleeding Russia dry, and like I said, with their infrastructure, it can only be maintained basically with American expertise. So it's a slow with Russia. It's this noose. Their population rate is zero. With this whole invasion of Crimea or Ukraine, they had to do it now because this is the last time in their history. Because it's all downhill for Russia after this, that they'd be able to field an army large enough to actually fight this war. So when you talk about these population things, these things go. Okay, these things go. Like a lot of shit you're seeing is prepositioning for what's going to happen, and that's why I'm saying what's going to happen. I'd rather be on top, because the population crunch is as astronomical. It's going to be, oh my god, look that up. So that should make you neocon right there. Right there, you should completely like, yes, we need to get our shit now while we can. But so you're going to bleed Russia, slowly. I mean, it's a death of 1,000 cuts with Russia. You got India. India will go along to it, whatever we say. That's basically it. You don't even have to take them over. Manufacturing will move to India, and we will keep them poor. We'll treat them just like we treat Mexico. Because like I said, Mexico's if you look at their currency, it's like 12 to 1, maybe 11 to 1. The peso, is super low. I don't see why we make more shit in Mexico, really, because if you got the Chinese, dollar at 8.5 US dollars, well, the fucking peso is less than that, shit. And they're right there, fuck, I would have done that a long time ago. So India doesn't really matter. So China, you're going to bleed dry. You're not right now. They're not going to be able to get in the resources that they need to function. They import a lot of energy, and they also too import a lot of fucking food. Believe it or not, they can't feed their own nation. Um, like I was saying, the population may not be what they even think. They may be way overcounting. Um, it's South Africa, bitch. You know what I mean? They got a sub or two, but fucking it's our tech, So if you're gonna do it, then do it, because you know you're always gonna deal with some kind of guerrilla warfare. But I mean, if you really meet it with just overwhelming response, then it's not really gonna matter. I mean, we should have, in Iraq, we should have had full blown liberty just to wreck shop, bow, be done. Let it be known that if you fire any bullets at a soldier, we're not going to take out that person. We're going to destroy this entire fucking block, and then slowly but surely you push them out. Sounds horrible, but you know what? It's got to cost us. It cost us more to be the world dominant currency than we are receiving. Is costing us more than we're getting back. is at this point is just a mathematical certainty that is almost going to fail. But it wouldn't fail, with this fiat fake dollar that we got if we just use it. Yeah, I wore shorts. See, I changed shorts out of the slacks. I'm saying this is just a couple hours later. This is the same day. This is the same day. It's the hypocrisy of it, you know? Like, don't use Jesus and scripture and morality when we need to do this because we need to do it. Jesus Christ, man, do you want your kid? If we continue this course of this just inflating everything away, then and you're going to have AI is going to come take these jobs. You know, do you want to live in like this dystopian, universal basic income kind of land? I mean, if you look at it now, that's kind of what you have a large population on. Do you want more of that? So if you think it's bad, you know, with the people that are on welfare programs now, well, now everybody's on a welfare program. And I hate to say it, the debt mattered than it would, you know. But give me a cut. I do not care. Go make my riches in war. Isn't that what everybody used to sign up for during wars and shit? You know? Is you get something, you get to bring something back. If we're gonna fight the same wars over like trade and naval routes and currencies and things like that, if this is what we've been doing this for thousands of years, then why change now? Why change and say we gotta do it for democracy? Fuck democracy. Yeah, for us. What, bring back modern day slavery? Oh, you'd have fucking everybody. You'd have Africa enslaved. What? Yeah, but I would have like Middle Eastern people enslaved too, and Asians and shit. I ain't gonna fucking forget them. Sorry that, everybody gets thrown in that mixture. You know, do like the Roman way and shit, man. Fucking get your citizenship to the Republic, or whatever they had, I mean, shit, crown some dude emperor, and they got to but he's got to fight it out with the other guy. You know what I mean? Like, let's get us a warlord. Let's get us a warlord. You're there, let's just do private mercenary, I mean, we could sell that on Wall Street. Venture capital would eat that shit up, wouldn't they? Venture capital would eat that shit up. Like, hey, look, this is what we're gonna go do, you know? And just pick a country that can't do shit, you know? I mean, where's Uruguay? You know? Pick, like, Czechoslovakia. What do they got? They used to have some stuff. They ain't got nothing now. Serbia ain't gonna help them, Moldova ain't gonna do shit. Fuck them. Fuck them. Take it. Put in a giant seaport right there. Fucking keep a couple of wops so they can cook some fucking noodles and shit. Fuck the Italians. I want my villa on the coast. Fuck the Roman Sea. That's Derrick Sea right there. When I look out that goddamn window, that shit's mine. Fuck them. Because we're going the long way around it. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're going the long way around. We're not doing the shortest path, man. Just A to B, man. A to B. We're going this long way. Come on, just straight line. Let's just get it over with. Because if not, we're going to slowly do it over fucking years and years and years and drag it out, drag it out, drag it out, and they're going to have to deal with little American, revolts every now and then because of democracy. Screw it. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be opposed to a fucking, another fucking king. Because the problem I have is that y'all change up every 4 years. They change it up every 4 years as far as how the country feels. They're able to take that over in a window, and they are just swaying you. I mean, you've got like R. Kelly singing to you on politics and shit. He got you naked one time, got your clothes put back on the next time. You just don't know. Is he going to pee on you or not? That's the question. Is the government going to piss on you and tell you it's raining, or they're not? Just cut us in, change it up. Give me somebody that is going to do something that we know what's going to be like for 20 years. You know, that guy's like, you know what? We're just going to go around. This is my plan. We're going to take over all these countries, and this is what we're going to do. And if he doesn't get it done, and somebody wants to challenge him, then they got to do a sword fight and something like that, something with a knife, you know, bar room kind of thing. You know, show me your dominance. That's what you want to see, don't you? If you're going to compare me to Rome, let us be Rome. Let us be Rome. Talk, you know, I was hoping for like a Trumpian Pax Romana, you know, but it just going on. It's going. He sold me on one thing, and now they're going back, you know, on a major thing that nobody wanted these wars. You know, well, nobody wanted these wars because we never get anything out of them. That's why. That's why World War II was awesome for us because we came in when we wanted to come in, and fucking we waited till we had everybody's shit, all their gold, all their silver, had all their fucking shit, and they're like, okay, now we'll play. You know, now we'll play. Now we got all of your shit. Look at after that. I mean, you know, you can say, well, I'm sure a black person's gonna be like, man, it wasn't so great. I'm sorry, you know, but now it would be though, because now everybody get a cut, right? So now when we go to war, you get a cut. Because back then everybody got a cut back then, you know. There's a lot of fucking cool shit happened in the United States after that. After everything was destroyed and we were number one. That was a good time. Look at all the shit they had back then, you know? I mean, it's yeah. And then black people come along for the ride. Y'all bitch and shit, you know, forgot you. I know they did. I know they did. It sucks. You were just last. You know, that's the only thing I can tell you. You were just last. Trust me, it's happened to 1,000 times in the world. You know, you're just last. But now you go fight for us and shit, man. You get reparations and shit. Fucking get you, you know, shit. Get you a forest wherever you want one at. You know, say that you're African Americans. Okay, you want a piece of Africa? You want a piece of Africa? You can have a piece of Africa, right? You know, like what if we get these Africans out, and then y'all can have that Africa too, and then everybody's happy. You got like your own shit. I'm not being racist, you know, but you know, it's like if I was from Africa, you know, I know shit ain't so cool over there. Fucking, I would choose Africa over Detroit. So I'm not being racist. I'm just saying, you know, if they're both gonna be jungles, at least give me one with fucking flowers and shit. Yeah, there's tigers, but there's less tigers than there are motherfuckers on the corner trying to kill me. So Chicago jungle, Africa jungle. Man, I'm telling you what I'm taking. You know, I'm telling you what I would take. You know? So if I'm talking about white people jumping over and taking over other white countries, well, then black people can go take over other black countries. You know what I mean? Why not? If we're going to be the dominants, you know, the U.S., if we're going to be dominant, then let's be dominant. Get it over with. And then never talk about it again. You know what I mean? And just let the history slowly rewrite itself to where it's always been. There's always been, you know, the United States of the world. Every country becomes now a state. The United States of the world. You know, they'll give it some kind of fancy name with a little acronym and everything. You know, spell something like butterfly. You know, it's I would buy into it. I would. Your kid goes off to fucking war and dies. You're like, well, he was chasing it. You know, he was chasing it. Not much different than the inner cities when you really get, you know, think about it. Shit. Everybody's worried about fucking urban combat in these cities. Fuck that, man. So here's the deal. Here's what we can do. So we can take Jamal, Stankfoot, all them motherfuckers that are like gangsters on the street, like fucking, you know, literally shootouts. They're not so good at the aiming. That's what everybody gets pissed about. But let's be honest. We take all of them. You know, we bomb the shit out of a country first. And then we'll, you know, give them a little air cover, all that stuff to, you know, on the blocks. But we send in Jamal, Stankfoot, all them motherfuckers like, what do you want door to door? You know, this is like 8th and Cicero right here. You know, handle it. Give them that. You know, them guys have seen enough trauma that they're not going to blink because they even got to guess if it's another black guy shooting them. They're like, oh, it's a light-skinned dude. They'll annihilate them. They'll annihilate them. So anyway, yeah. See, everybody gets a cut. Everybody gets a cut. We got the military to do it. We have the anger and trauma as a nation to do it. You know, it's we've been at war, man, for so fucking long. Like I said, nobody would mind if we had fucking won one. You know, if we just won one. We got these generals and shit that we're teaching them all this Admiral Nelson fucking bullshit, and we're not turning them loose. Give Mad Dog the fucking money. Let him go. Let him go. You know, it's fucking, you're holding that pit bull back. Let that pit bull go eat, son. I got a pit bull. Sometimes they just gotta let them do it. You know, keeps them sharp, keeps them focused. We got amazing tech now. You're seeing all this amazing tech. That's why the Ukrainian war, we're not in just yet. We got a lot of shit we still got to test over there. You know, we got to get ready, and maybe they are getting ready for the last Great War. I just wish they would hurry up and do it so I can get my shit too. You know, just be honest with me. That's it. That's it. You know, at this point with the fucking whole Ukrainian war and shit, they don't kill a lot of Ukrainian dudes. That means there's a lot of Ukrainian women. You know, didn't they just ship the women back in the old days? Ship them bitches back. Ship them back. Ship them back. Spoils of war. Sorry, we win. Now make my fucking socks, Emilio. Chop chop, or your grandma gets it, you know? And she's probably going to get it anyway because she's on half rations. I don't care. Because by that time, fucking robots will be making her fucking socks and shit. Why not? If it'll just cut us in on it, then we'll go in peace, you know? But just stop trying to hide it. You know, because you're hiding it. And if it comes down to the money, how much more money do y'all want? Y'all print it. You literally print it. You have the machines. You've got the Xerox right there. You've got the Xerox. You can make any amount that you want. So if you don't want the money, we'll take it. We'll take the money, and then you get what you want. But give us the money so we can go buy fucking shit. That's it. You know? Let me get that $2 a gallon gas. $3 a gallon of milk. Give me back to $5 a pack of cigarettes. How about that? $5. Who makes my shit? Turkey? Fuck them. Fuck Turkey. Take that shit. Take it. What do they got? They got our shit over there. What are they good for? You know? I mean, wouldn't it be cool to take fucking, you know, Constantinople back? Recreate the Byzantine Empire. You know? I don't know. Give us something. Give us something. You know, all these other countries, they're no match for us. The only way they can be a match for us is if we're going to continue to do things the way that we're doing them. That's where it's a continuous, you know, this fucking endless cycle of bullshit. You know, if we're going to fight this war the way that we're fighting it, then it's just going to be a war that's meant to be fought to slowly drain them without being, you know, upfront about it, being very, very sneaky about it. We know what you're doing. Don't be sneaky. Just, just tell us. That's it. That's it. Shit, man, they have people fucking coming back from goddamn China with fucking flat screen TVs and shit. You know, fucking Larry coming through, you know, unboxing all of his stuff that he got. Look at this thing. That's cool, man. I even got a little Chinese kid right here. Look at him for 5 years old. Watch this. Watch this. Yo, chang, make my socks. Fucking horrible. It's horrible. But we're not going to be able to coexist. There's no way. I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. Take my favorite American restaurants and shit and put them over there. So whenever I go to like Egypt or I'm going to Syria or Iran to go see like some of that cool ancient shit, you know, let me have a Chili's right there. You know, give me a fucking Outback Steakhouse right there. You know, give me a Burger King that makes the old style Whoppers and shit. Them big motherfuckers right there. Make them $2 right there. What do I gotta have to have that? You know, I mean seriously. We could have amazing technology too. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it's just like that. They're doing it for more than money. You know, so let us have some. That's it. That's it. I don't know how else I feel about it. Because everybody would capitulate, and it's exhausting. So yeah, I can go full liberal. I can go full neocon on it because I can see it both ways. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't like y'all because of your refusal just think past tomorrow. You know, think past tomorrow. All right, all y'all can kiss my